there, Latin 1. So we are now on page 9. We're going to do exercise 2C together. It's more translation. There's a small glossary below it, and do not hesitate to turn back to the glossary on page 7 and back to the glossary on page 3. You might need some of those words. So I'm going to read out loud to you. I'm going to read it out loud twice. I'll do it once so that you can read aloud along with me. Then I'll do it again so that you get a feel for the actual goal. Then I will translate it. Then at the end of that, I will give you the assignment. Cornelia est puella romana, quae in villa rustica aestate habitat. In villa vicina habitat altera puella nomine Flavia, quae est amica eius. Dum puellae in villa habitant, in agris saepe ambulant. Hodie Cornelia ad villam vicinam ambulat, ubi in agris sub arbore sedet Flavia. Iam puellae laetae currunt. Brevi tempore, quod defesae sunt, non iam currunt, sed sub arbore sedent. That's for you to repeat. Again, 5 times is good practice, okay? You just want to get used to making those sounds. It really does help with the picking up the language. Now, here's how it's supposed to sound. Cornelia est puella romana quae in villa rustica aestate habitat. In villa vicina habitat altera puella nomine Flavia, quae est amica eius. Dum puellae in villa habitant, in agris saepe ambulant. Hodie Cornelia ad villam vicinam ambulat, ubi in agris sub arbore sedet Flavia. Iam puellae laetae currunt. Brevi tempore, quod defesae sunt, non iam currunt, sed sub arbore sedent. Again, half my life and then some. You've been doing it for like a week. So get there, but recognize it takes you a while, okay? And practice, practice, practice. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to hit pause so you can go back and translate this. Do it on a separate sheet, okay? Translations should be on their own sheets. Do it on a separate sheet. You can do it on the same sheet as translation for chapter 2 if you want, but do it on a separate sheet from the exercises. Go back and translate this. Then come back to me and hit play. Cornelia is a Roman girl who lives in the country house and farm during the summer. In the neighboring country house, another girl lives named Flavia, who is a friend of her. While the girls live in the country house, they often walk in the fields. Today, Cornelia walks toward the country house, toward the neighboring country house, where Flavia sits under a tree in the fields. Now the girls run happy. Now the happy girls run. In a short time, because they are tired, they no longer run, but they sit under the tree. So that's the translation. Go ahead and get out a red pen and correct your mistakes. Don't erase things. I don't care about perfect. I care that you learn and that you see your mistakes. Now that you're done doing that, I want you to go ahead and do exercise 2D. You're going to write out the prompt, and you can just type this out. Okay, if you take a look at 2D, Cornelia and Flavia live in Italy. You're going to write out the English. Then you're going to write out the answer. It'll be something similar to this. Cornelia et Flavia in Italiā, with a macron over the A, habitant. Okay? What I want you to make sure you do is that your nouns, your subjects, and your verbs, whether they're linking or whether they're intransitives, match. Singular subject, singular verb. Plural subject, plural verb. Okay? And if it's Cornelia and Flavia, that's technically 2 people. So that's why that's plural. All right, so you're going to do 2 through 5. You're going to send that in to me, and I will give you the feedback that you need. Okay? If you want, for extra fun, for extra feedback, go ahead and highlight things as I had you do in the previous chapter. Or not in the previous chapter, in the previous video. Okay? But that's up to you. That is optional at this point for exercise 2D. So what I should get from you in email is exercise 2A, exercise 2B with highlighting, as well as translation, and exercise 2D. You have translated chapter 2 as well as 2C on your own and used my videos to make sure that you've done so. and then you're done with chapter 2. Now, if we happen to meet, then I will have given you worksheets, etc., and you should do them all. Also, you probably want to read pages 10 through 11 because it is about Roman families, and since we're going to be following a Roman family, it's good to have the historical context. All right, I'm going to hit the button.